Did you know that quilting is cool? Well, our friend Elizabeth from Quilters Candy is here to share how you can join in this classic hobby. Elizabeth, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So how did you get into quilting?
My mom was a quilter, but I kind of thought that's not for me. And when I was a little older in my 30s, I went to this quilt festival market and I was like, this is cool, this is trendy, the colors, it's hip, so that's what really started me with quilting.
I love it, and you actually design your own fabric, so talk to me about these because they are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so this is actually named after my late mom, who was a quilter, Gail Lorraine, and there's a quilt here with the fabrics, and my second line comes out this month.
That's so exciting, and you're clearly very talented. These are beautiful. Talk to us about what makes a quilt modern.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few patterns there if you want to show. Yeah. It's a little bit more outside of the box. Geometric shapes, the bright colors, and I say bright colors, but a contrast with the white background. So yeah, a little bit more spunky.
I love that. And you actually have an example to show us how you can make a quilt more modern. Talk to us about what we have going on here.
Yeah, so this quilt here is one of my favorites. It's the front porch quilt. And it's really fun to make. You take 2 squares and a rectangle.
All right.
And then fold the rectangle in half. Sandwich them together.
Easy.
Sew it, and you just push that fabric out and make this triangle piece.
Look, oh, I love that, and I love these colors that you've put together. You talked about mix and matching, and it looks absolutely stunning. So hip, and then is this the final step right here?
So you sew them together, and it becomes this 3D block where you can actually like put your fingers behind this block, or even put stuffing in this and make it poofy and add some texture to the quilt.
I love this. Anyone would love to have this quilt. Okay, I know this may be a hard question, but what do you think is the absolute best part of making a quilt?
I like picking out the colors and the fabrics, you know, the mixing and matching of these low volume fabrics and then putting it together. It's like an art form, you know?
It absolutely is. I totally agree. What do you think stops people from quilting and they're like, oh, that's not for me, or I'm nervous? What do you think?
Right, so given my demographic, generally when I tell people I'm a quilter, they're like, oh, that's a dying art form. So they think that it's maybe a little irrelevant, which it's really a billion-dollar industry that's very trendy. Have you seen like the quilt clothes or like patchwork? Very trendy. And then also having a good sewing machine. If you have a bad sewing machine, you're gonna hate it. So have a good sewing machine. Baby lock's my favorite, and they're not too expensive.
Okay, so can you share your favorite quilts with us?
My favorite, well, this is my all-time favorite, and it has minky on the back, so it's super soft.
Look at this. Oh, I love that. Anyone would just love to cozy up with this, or even just like a design piece that you throw, you know, over your couch, and people come in and are thinking, well, that is amazing. I want to do that. Elizabeth, where can we go for more information?
Yeah, so I have a podcast, Craft to Career, where I actually teach people how to take your craft and turn it into a career. And then I'm on And then I'm on Instagram at quilters_candy.
Perfect. So check out her podcast and her Instagram. Elizabeth, thank you so much for stopping by. These are absolutely beautiful. You're so talented.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.